What's up? What's
Hey,
up? What's up? What's up? That man struggling.
how are you? We both were struggling because I was trying to figure
I'm
out how to make this box big.
man. Look,
We in there now though.
y'all don't. Yeah, never mind. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
It's okay.
good.
It's all right. How's your week going so far before we get started?
Oh man. The week.
Uh oh. Okay, now we ain't
It's
trying to see
good.
your
It's good. It's
business. We
just I
gonna
had to
look at it.
process. I had to process today. Like it's good. Um, I had to. Yeah, it's good.
I was about to say now don't incriminate yourself on here now. Cause I don't need nobody
No, no,
calling
no,
me
no.
the
We
witness.
good. We
Okay.
good. We good. We good.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he had to find
It's
it,
been
friend.
good.
He
How
had to
about
find
yours?
it. It's cool.
I
I'm
see the
ready
shirt
for the
came. That's
holiday.
cool.
Ooh, y'all look. I got my queen shirt from Mr. Norian Love because it's like that over here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for the
Oh,
holiday.
handsome
I'm ready
fella.
to
I
go
know who said thank
home.
you.
I'm going to Port Arthur
Thank
and
you.
I can't wait.
Oh, you from Port Arthur?
Yeah, remember I was saying I moved out here in 2002. So I've been in Houston a long time, but Port Arthur is still forever going to be home.
You just wait.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
More on that later.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've lived in Houston longer than I lived in my hometown at this point.
Mm,
But home is just
mhm.
home. It's just different. I love Houston though.
Indeed.
Houston has been good to me, so
Indeed.
I
You too.
can't trip. All right,
Look,
y'all. All of our viewers, everybody that's kicking in with us, y'all got y'all cocktails. We ready to make a toast. Here is to our second month of Bookies Flipping Pages, to a great book, an amazing H Town author holding it down for the fellas. Cheers. Clink, 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 clink.
mhm.
Okay, good. Let's get to it.
H. Tyler Jason. I love that.
Do you hate your readers? Because why you write these books that stress us out? I said, Lord. Let me say before you answer. So remember, I read Winter a while back because that was like one of the first video reviews I ever did was Winter. And
Mhm.
after I did the review, somebody who commented pointed out like, I think you were supposed to read the other book first, girl. So when I started Autumn in my head, I was like, okay, Winter took me for a ride. It wore me out a little bit, but it was his
Mhm.
second book, so maybe the first one will be a little more calm. It'll be a little more at ease.
Oh,
I
no, no,
feel
no,
like
no,
you did
no.
me worse with Autumn than you did with Winter. What is up? What
No,
is
no,
your?
no, 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 no.
You tore me
Um,
up. What is that about?
I
Like, do
think.
you come into it like, oh, I'm finna fuck him up with this one?
Look, one of my favorite people in the world is in here, and she know how I get down, man. It's not, I write these books. I want you to, you want to have an experience. You want to be able to feel the characters. You want to be able to feel the story, and I
Yeah.
want it to be as simple or as light of a read as possible, but as deep as a read as you need. So you can wherever you are on the spectrum of the story, there's something for you. You
Okay.
know, Autumn Autumn was special because there was a lot of that. And it was the first book that the music came before the novel. And so
Mm.
that what I'm learning uh just takes a different um just takes a different form. I don't know. It just something about the emotion from the music just makes a more layered story for me.
Yeah.
So
And I can agree with that because we'll touch on it, but he has a playlist for the book, right? And it's original music. And I listened to it before, but I don't know, listening to it after I finished the book, it was like the songs were
it's a
completely
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really what I think that is. I write the songs, um, and then I write the book. And so that's kind of how that works. So it's
Okay.
like normally, like with Autumn, I didn't know where it was going. I was just making music, and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, you know what? Look, I'm so caught up in the music, I don't hear um the story. But once I'm getting to the third or fourth song, I'll start writing the story. So it
Oh,
kind
okay.
of that's what I'm learning now. Uh,
Okay. So we're gonna start from the top with the book. The book opens up with us kind of like sitting in with Tatum and Stone, and we get our first peek of like their brotherhood, of their friendship. I loved that. I feel like his nickname being Rev, although I did not know why, we don't find out until later in the book where Rev came from, right? But it felt like it immediately gave like a yin and yang to their dynamic. Like it added to how we already could tell they were just complete opposites. But
mhm.
you fed us just a little bit at a time. Cause at first when they were pulling up to the house, I'm like, okay, what we doing with this? And then when we find out what's going on, it's a transaction going on, and Tatum is kind of in it, kind of not. I was like, oh, okay, we're going somewhere else with this. Cause for a second I thought he really was a pastor. And I was like, it's a lot going on in this car with Pastor Tatum.
Mhm.
But you did a really good job throughout the book. Like we were always a part of Stone and Tatum's friendship. We saw like some real vulnerable sides of their friendship. We saw some ups and we saw some downs. Was it important to you that their friendship was like an underlying foundation to the story?
Oh yeah, yeah. This book probably contained all the elements of love that I can think of at the time, like friendship love, familiar love, romantic love. So it was important to see that because Stone and Tatum, like you said, they are opposites, but you can see where they were bonded too.
Mm-hmm.
And so because no matter what, they were there for each other. In ways that only friends could be there for each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it was really important to display the relationship of those two because it's kind of the core. It's one of the core components of what Tatum is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And speaking of the core of Tatum, I feel like throughout the book, we constantly see Tatum put himself on the back burner for like, his dad, his mom, Stone, Autumn. Like, was that, do you consider that to be a flaw or a strength for Tatum?
Ooh, ooh, that's one of those double-edged swords, man. That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Or it could be
Yeah, that's a good
both. It
question.
could be both. But
It's a
just,
double-edged sword for him. I
yeah.
think it was. I think it for him. It was a strength that he had to learn where boundaries were. Like healthy boundaries. But and so it's good. But what he was in his journey, a lot of people aren't that selfless.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ended up doing a lot of stuff for being so selfless. It cost him. You
Yeah.
know. So
Okay. That's good answer. I like that. When we first meet Autumn, we meet her as somebody kind of unlikable. Did you ever worry that like you made us dislike her so much that once they became friends and they grew into something else that the readers might be like, we don't like her crazy ass.
um she was annoying, right? She really was annoying
Yes.
up front. She was annoying. So no, I thought that like what this story does well through Tatum's eyes is show you the things that he loves in the most beautiful aspect. So I didn't think that. I thought that like, she was annoying. She was annoying.
Yeah, maybe not
For the
unlikable, but
minute.
she definitely was annoying and
Definitely
she
annoying.
lacked like self awareness because it's like, girl, move this damn car. Girl, I'm not moving your stuff. How you gonna volunteer me to work for you? I don't do labor. Now I gotta go to your house. Like, it was just very like, what is up with this crazy ass lady?
Yeah, like yeah. There you go. She
Yeah,
was
that's a better way to
annoyed.
say it. She was
I get
annoying,
she
not
she
unlikable.
probably. I think that I think that Tatum, you grow to love people like that, and I
Hmm.
think that but she had her own backstory, and I think what was so cool about Autumn was since she's a force of nature too, you had to you had to meet her where she was in her storm. She was in the middle of a storm when he met her,
Yeah.
and he kind of was at the end of something. He was kind of in a calmness, and so yeah, I think that's what it.
That
I
actually
think that's
is
what it
a
was.
question I have written down. When they meet and start to build this friendship, they both are in the middle of like weathering some storms. And I noticed it seemed like their storms was similar but kind of opposite. Like Monique abandoned him and Sally. So the divorce was it's like he was just still married, even though his wife wasn't there. Whereas Autumn went through a divorce. She lost a baby, whereas Tatum was raising his son by himself. Like he was trying to, manage fatherhood and school. And she was like, I'm out. It is what it is. I'm out. How hard was it to balance both of those heavy storylines, at the same time?
Oh, I don't know if it was hard at all, just because it was kind of the one thing that I can tell you about when I write a story
Hmm.
is I don't have a lot of control over what these people do. Like I
Okay.
feel like
They
I'm a
just tell you
stenographer.
when you write it.
Yeah, I just show up and I'm just taking notes, man. I already know what I'm like. Oh, that's okay. A lot of times that's how it goes. So I don't like Autumn. Like I said, when you meet her, uh, truth be told, I could have gone another direction. There's a lot of what was happening. And I was like, okay, well, we can't tell them all that because
Hmm.
now that's a whole other story. So let's just catch you right here and
Hmm.
go from there. And so I think that, um, yeah, without saying too much,
Yeah.
it's a very, I'm just in the back seat of these
Okay.
crazy people's drive.
I got
Hmm.
that. I got that. Um, with Tatum's dad, JC,
Hmm.
we I feel like when we met him through Tatum's eyes.
Hmm.
We knew Tatum's experience of him, his trauma, his feelings that he was harboring, but we got to see him reveal himself to be a different person with Sally. You did a really good job of pacing out how his story really unfolded for us. Was that
Hmm.
intentional, or it was just how it needed to play out for the story to go along?
Oh no, I think that was a little bit more slow cooked on purpose, just because again, everyone in this book specifically, I know I could tell another story. Like you meeting them in the middle of all of the journey. So
Mhm.
this is kind of like my George Lucas had that Return of the not Return of the Star Wars, the first Star Wars, but
Mhm.
that's like number 6 in the story. You meet
Mhm.
them at number 6.
Okay.
So JC Money, he had his downfall, and there's so much there. There's so much that led to that. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that knowing what was going to happen for him, time slowed down. So for the pace of the story, time slowed down. You
Yeah.
know.
I get
So
that.
yeah, yeah.
And you put a lot of Houston references. I know we had talked about that when I reviewed Winter, but I felt like
Mhm.
Autumn was heavy with Houston references. Like I could literally see them at Herman Park. I could see them walking through the Museum of Fine Arts. Was that also important to you to like represent Houston and make the story full with like
Yeah,
landmarks, neighborhoods.
yeah, that was definitely different. I love this city. Like this city has grown up so much, and it's grown up with me. And so, I wanted. It's definitely an ode to Houston along the way of it, because this city doesn't get enough credit for. Like you can come to, like you can live in Houston and never experience Houston. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then to point out these landmarks to like, you could really. I want to, and I think one day I really want to have a tour to of the city through the
Hmm.
story, because like you can have a day and it's a great day. We went here, we went here, we went here,
Yeah.
and there are all these little hidden gems, in this
Hmm.
city that like you like, man, like I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was very important. Hmm.
Yeah, it definitely made it nostalgic. Like it even made me think of like times when I used to go
Yeah.
hang out in certain places. Like, oh, I love it over there.
Hmm.
Okay, from your first draft to like the final product that we have now, was there any scene that like drastically changed?
I think y'all read the first draft. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll take that. I'll take
It's like,
that.
and done. Like I don't know if there was no. There's nothing. I think y'all read the first draft. That was it. Yeah, no, nothing changed. Everything
Okay.
was as it was. Hmm.
Now, one specific question I have just as a reader. Why the
Hmm.
hell Tatum didn't get a divorce off rip? When her bald headed ass popped back up, why my dog didn't have the paperwork the next day? What?
I think like and you see this all the time with people, right? Like they're living their lives. Like you don't wake up and realize 4 years in the past. You trying to get to the next day. I think for him, he was in survival mode, trying to raise his kid,
Yeah,
and like the technical, and he's going to school, and he's trying to get a job, and he's trying to, there's so much going on with him. He's trying to fix his life to go on a certain way. I don't think that like slowing down to think about the technicalities of okay, this is what I need to be doing ever popped into his head. So by the time she showed back up, which was unexpected, he was like, well, I hadn't even thought about this in a couple of years. Like this is
yeah,
just kind of where I'm at.
yeah.
Like
Out of sight, out of
on
mind.
paper, I know this is yeah, outside out of mind. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think so. Yeah, it was just that was a human response to where he was in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Did you ever hesitate? Because he got hit with a few whammies throughout this book. Like at one point, I was stressed out for my friend. Did you ever hesitate on any of the whammies? Like, okay, this might be one too many. I don't think he gonna handle this one good. Cause we had her popping back up. We had her pulling a stunt with Sally. You know what happened with his dad. Him kind of being, I don't want to say on the outs with Stone, but it was a little tough at one point. The
mhm.
revelation with Monique's homegirl, it was just like my dog could not catch a break. And I think the one that got me the most was Dr. Peterson finding out what he did. Like that one, I was like, please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me, sir. Were there any of the whammies that you were like, oh, I don't know if we got to take it this far?
Ooh. There was one.
Wh-
There was one. There
Which
was one.
one?
I say, you know what? No, 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 not you.
Oh, you
Because
took one out.
I took one. I didn't. There was one. I was like, you know what?
Damn, you tried to do more to him. Damn.
I was like, man, yeah, there was one that said, no, we're not gonna do that. He's been through too much already. I was like, nah, there was one. I made the executive call on. I said, yeah, you know what? No, we're not gonna do that. It's
Yeah.
way too
I
much.
was reading the book and I
But no,
literally said out loud, now enough is enough. Enough is enough. He don't deserve all this now. It was too much.
it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, no, it never went the other way for me. It was always like it was just one that I was like, he been through a lot. Like, let's give him. Come on, guys. Like, come on, guys. You sure? You sure? All right.
Yeah,
Well,
you had
nah,
my
I'm gonna,
dog
I'm gonna cut this
going
one off.
through it. I was about to shed
Hmm.
tears for my
Yeah.
friend. If
You were
you
smooth.
could rewrite one decision that any of the characters made, what would it be?
Okay, so ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it was you had a lot of
I
rough
wouldn't.
decision
Okay, so
making
let me be
going on in
clear.
here.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change a thing. First of all, let me say that I wouldn't change a thing. But if there was something, if I gun to my head, hey, look, you got to do something.
Mhm.
Um, I think, I think that, see, because everything leads to the next thing, so it's kind of hard to pick. Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay.
Um,
You want some
yeah,
time?
that's
You
a
want to
good
come back
question.
to that one?
Yeah, let's come back to that one because I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
what I would change. Yeah.
Okay, I remembered my original question, so we'll go back one and then
Okay.
we'll see if you got an answer, okay? So my
Hmm.
original question was Tatum was very like when he made a decision, he stuck to it. It didn't matter what everybody around him tried to sway him to do.
Hmm.
How did you? Because I feel like it was a fine line because on one part he is like boxing himself and his wants and his happiness up, but then on the other hand he's like, no, I ain't choosing that. I ain't doing that. This is what it's gonna be. Even when it came to like him allowing Sally to have a relationship with his dad, and his mom was very vocal of like, hell no, not with my grandbaby. How did you kind of maneuver through knowing which side of the fence he will fall on?
I want him to be a man of his convictions. Like, Tatum was one of those people who, when he made up his mind to do something, he was on it. Like he was like, I'm not in the drug game. I'm not in the drug game. You mean it's gonna be
Yeah.
harder for me, but I'm not doing this no more. You mean? And when he decided he was gonna have a relationship with his dad, that's what it was. So he didn't. His mother being very important to him was one thing, but he wanted that same relationship that his son was getting. And but even before that, it took a while for him to be convinced. We don't see that part of it, but
Okay.
Stone was telling him, "Hey, look, he's changed. He's different. You might want
Mhm.
to spend some time with him." And Tatum, being who Tatum is, like, "Nah, I ain't getting there yet." But then you just see, as when 4 years
Yeah.
later, he's in my life. So something happens along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's just a man of his principle. So
Okay.
following his principles got him to where he is.
Okay. Then I'm gonna give you one more question before we come to the decision question. Okay, I'm gonna give you some more time.
Okay.
I liked
Hmm.
Stone. I feel like Stone was like a breath of fresh air at times.
Hmm.
If we
Hmm.
got a story from Stone, what do you think we would get to see from Stone? I'm pushing it, huh?
No, you right where you need to be. Um, I
Okay.
think I think with Stone, you want to see. It's easy to write a story before the events of Autumn about Stone, but I think the more interesting story would be everyone would probably want to know what happened after Autumn with Stone, and I
Be
think that
love, don't eat my friend Stone up like that. I love me some Stone. Don't do him that, please.
look,
Don't do my
I
friend like
she
that.
know she knows I love it. I love she know. Uh, look, um, yeah, Stone. There's a lot of meat on the bone with all these characters. There's a lot of meat on the bone there. I think that like you would see Stone's growth from what he's been through. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think that's a great story to unpack. I think that you would kind of want to see. I think it's hard to go back now and tell one story without because you want to know what happened to everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You want to know, and so it's kind of like you know, without saying anything,
Okay.
Stone would be definitely a character that like you want to see. Like, did he walk again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. You mean so how do we even get there? Um yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Okay. And I think what it was, the hospital scene when he really opened up to Tatum and was vulnerable and honest about,
Hmm.
what his vantage point of growing up and coming to adulthood was like for him. And even why
Hmm.
he was kind of like, I guess, hesitant to really be open and supportive to his relationship with Autumn and all that. So I
Hmm.
think that made me be like, okay, okay, all right, Stone, I like you now. I feel
I
like
didn't say
that's what I
that.
heard
That's what
as
they said.
well, but I just,
No, I ain't say that. No, don't say
oh,
that.
okay, I just,
No,
it
they said
sounded
words.
like that to me though.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so the decision. If you
Oh,
could change one character's decision, any decision made by any character, what would it be?
oh, you know what? I think okay. So thinking about that, it would probably be um, Johnny telling Tatum about his condition earlier. I think that would probably be the decision that I would say. Like, if I had a choice in it, that'd
Yeah.
be the one thing that I'd like to like. Hey, you guys really should talk.
Yeah.
Like it's a writing. I'm like, because that's how I did feel when I was writing. I was like, you really should tell your son what's going on, man.
I
Like, you
know.
sure?
You
Like,
don't
all
want
right,
to give him a
keep
little
going.
clue or something.
You know, just a heads up. Something. No, that
See,
would probably be it.
I think that was a big heartbreak in the story. I feel like Tatum got so many answers after his dad was gone. And it just feels like if he would have even gotten just a third of the answers he got after the fact, it would have given him the chance. But that's real life. Like, that's how stuff unfolds all the time, especially in black families. We don't know stuff and then everybody want to talk when it's too late. So it was very real.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna lighten it up. I'm gonna make it a little fun. I'm gonna name a character and I want you to tell
Hmm.
me what you want readers to think of them. Like when you hear their name, what do you see? What's a word that describes them or
Oh,
like what's their takeaway? Okay?
okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, obviously, first up is Tatum.
Yeah, loyal. Loyal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Autumn.
Easy. Spontaneous.
Okay. Stone.
Hustler. Hustler. Yeah.
JC Money.
Wow. Ooh. Ooh. One word. Just one?
Or it don't
Like,
have to be just one, but like just how would you
oh, okay.
describe them or what's their takeaway?
I think um for me he has a wise redemption arc. I think that's his that's who I would think of him as a person on the road to redemption. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Monique. A
Shit.
wench. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I think that was yeah, she devious. That's a
Okay,
good
that's a
one.
good one. Okay, and this one is a left field one. Drinks or artistry.
Oh yeah, damn. Drinks, I would say underrated. Yeah. Yeah, slept yeah, that's it. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Um,
That's not the order.
and then is there a scene or a moment in the book that is your personal favorite?
In that book?
Mm-hmm.
Um you know what's so funny about this now is that like some time has passed. I get to sit with it a little bit better. I love this conversation. I love these conversations because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I like to see it age. You mean? And so like what I would answer that question differently 3 years ago than I would answer it today, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay, say that for me one more time. Let me just make sure I'm thinking about it.
Is there a scene or moment in the book that was your favorite for this book? Or on the flip side, was there a scene or moment in the book that was very hard for you to write?
Oh, both. Oh my god. Okay, so I'll give you both. My favorite scene would probably be the time that Tatum and Autumn from the trampoline, the start of their relationship.
Yeah.
That moment, I think I loved how that transpired. All of that was fun. Um, Him meeting Nairobi, all of that's everything to that led to that. I thought that was really fun to write.
Now, Big Love,
Um,
you taking it far. I don't want to have to mute you in the comments, girl. Not too much on my dog. Calm down.
How much better would this book have been if you chose the other live story on the page? I just want look like
Why would you
uh,
say that? Why would you say that, girl? I just said that he opened up to us and we like him. Why would you say
she should say this. I love her
that?
though.
She eating my friend up,
She likes
man.
this kind of stuff. She do love it. um,
And then the scene or moment
so
that was hard to write.
easily. The part everything between Stone getting shot and breaking up with Autumn. That was the hardest,
Ooh,
rough. Everything up until that point.
I had to take a break. I had to take
Actually,
a
you know
break.
what? To take it even further than that, because the scene that was the hardest for to write was um, him getting arrested in front of his son. That was the hardest
Ooh,
scene to write. That was the hardest scene to write by far. Wasn't even
yeah.
close. That was
Yeah,
the
that was
hardest part.
tough. I don't
Hmm.
know how I forgot about that, but yeah, that was tough. It was
Yeah,
tough to read. Like I
yeah,
could
yeah,
just imagine little Solly's little voice and him just crying and find out say, "Oh Lord, not my nephew."
yeah, 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 yeah. He said that my nephew. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's nephew. Um,
Mhm.
Autumn. We got to meet Autumn's dad. And I was kind of surprised because I don't know, it just felt like their relationship was so bad. We heard so much about how rough he was on her that I didn't think it would be like, okay, let's go see him. Leading into that, like,
Mhm.
how was it like approaching that part? Because even Tatum having to take control, but this is also his first time meeting her parents. So you got to be firm yet respectful. Like, what was that thought process?
Um, Same thing. You come in right in the middle of these people's lives. So this is the woman that I love. These are the people that she loved. This is the first time that we're meeting, but I'm not going to let anybody hurt the woman that I love. And that I don't know what y'all got going on before this,
Hmm.
but I see that she uncomfortable. She already told me she could be. We got to go. And I think that line at the end when he was telling him about, hey man, she told me about this great guy. It's a shame I didn't get to meet him, kind of thing. I think that was really a wake up call for her dad.
Yeah.
It was like because it just it was one of those things where and one thing about Tatum, he's a man of his convictions. Whatever it is,
Hmm.
that didn't matter. No, we finna, we got to
We
go. Come
out.
on,
Yeah,
no,
my people, we
yeah.
out. But I do feel like you could look at it either way, but I feel like Tatum just does not play about the people he loves and he will do whatever, whenever, wherever to make sure they are good at all times.
That's it.
And Autumn got to receive that. And for her, that was news. So obviously she was latched on.
Hmm.
Now, the graduation scene, though. that was tough to read as a reader, especially because we come into this and we just expecting our characters to have a happily ever after and they go off into the sunset. And I feel like it kind of gave me panic because it was like, okay, wait, he for real gonna stay with this lady? Like he for real? He's serious about this?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, did you ever feel like, okay, maybe we taking this too far, Big Tate? Like maybe we need to dial it back. Like you really locked in.
I think he was in an impossible situation. I think that like like knowing the like going back to what you're saying. One thing about all these characters is like for me they are who they are. So it's just about okay, you're in this situation. How would you respond? And like oh, see that like okay. So to take it a step further, right?
Mm,
Because that's a very important note that someone just said here. This book to me, if you take it one layer deeper, there's a relationship between it. So there's a love letter to Houston, but there's also a love letter to a book called The Alchemist that's going on through the whole journey. And so if you look at that moment, um, she's definitely the oasis along his journey to the pyramids, if you will. Like
mm,
she is the woman at the well. She is the like this makes a lot more sense reading the other book,
yeah,
because it follows you know, like there's a character called Santiago and there's a character called Fatima in that book. And so it's that where they are comfortable with parting, even though they don't want to leave each other.
mm,
And so it's kind of that there's that relationship too. So there's so like I said, it depends on how long you want, but there's so no, I think that like it happened the way it needed to happen. He had to go on to the next phase. Now I do wish that they were able to talk more because I
yeah,
think their whole problem was just communication. You
mm,
know, um, I think she was stuck in her convictions. He was stuck in his. He didn't necessarily give her a choice in the matter because he couldn't see one for himself.
yeah, yeah.
And so I think that like that, if he were able to, but he was hit with so much, and then like the letter his dad gave him at the end, like who's supposed to do what he's
I
supposed to do, like that.
know. I said,
Like what
now
he's
why would
supposed to
this
do?
man
Hey,
use his last communication with his son to peer pressure him to go back to that crazy heifer?
you know, it just
But I mean,
and
his
he had
mom
his
said it
own.
right. People can only try to guide you based off of their own experience, their mistakes, and what they feel that they should have done differently. People are always, every time you get advice, every time you have a conversation, people are always going to speak from their lens. And it's
Context
also
is
on
so
the flip
important.
side, it's always easy for somebody to say what they would do when they're not the one in the predicament. It's because I
Hmm.
just like I could sit here and say like, why did he leave Autumn? I would never do that. But if it were me, I might choose my kids over my happiness. Like parents do it all the time if we be honest. But I was just like, not don't use the letter to peer pressure my friend. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was. I think he just like JC was really in his heart of hearts trying to do what was best for his son. And you got to think about he. Oh, see, that's a great note. Like when the shoe isn't on our foot, he. I think for him, he's living from a lifetime of regret, and so that's where he's coming from. Not necessarily like you know he's been the guy that's walked out. And so he understands Monique and he understands Tatum from different purviews. But his mother, because she had been there, she could see the kid, which is her son, and be like, "Hey, man, you ain't happy." So I
Yeah.
know what he's saying. but you need to do this for your happiness, man. And like there's a great line in there. She was saying um, like no, none of us know what this from what I can tell. You, the person that's had the best shot at this thing called happiness. So why would you give that up? Like I ain't had it. Like I can't see
Yeah.
nobody else has had it. But when I saw you, you had it. So you might want to keep doing that. You know, and I think that it's important to take in all the advice. But it was good to see um, the juxtaposition between his mom and his dad's advice and what they both kind of meant to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one was, his dad clearly was his hero on some level,
Hmm.
but his mother was his parent. So
Yeah.
she knows her kid, and so
Yeah.
you could see, you know, yeah,
Because mamas be knowing.
you know it.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold you
Shout out
too
to
much
mom.
longer, but I do want to
No,
ask
you're
this.
good. I know this.
When you come into the story, because like I said, winter threw me for a loop, but autumn tore me up. Do you come into it like, okay, where can I throw a plot twist? Because you are clearly, somebody said it on my winter review, and I see it. You are hands down the plot twist king for sure. How,
Thank
like, does it just naturally come that you like, oh, I got a whammy? Or is it just like you think of a whammy first and you're like, okay, I'm gonna write a story around it? Like, how do you throw this in here the way that you do?
I promise you, man. I am a stenographer. I just take notes on these people. Like I know I meet them, they wake me up, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then something happened. And I'm like, you sure you want to? Okay. No, that's all I do. It's all I don't. There's not a lot of creativity in these stories, man. Like not for me. Like,
No, it's a
I'm
lot.
just taking notes.
I'm telling you, I will never forget reading Winter because when that plot twist came at the hospital, I put the
Yeah,
book down because I was laying down reading. I had to put the book down, get up, and just walk around my house because, like, what is going on? And I feel like Autumn, you gave it to us at the gate. Like, the story starts with one of the wildest twists. Like, for the beginning of a book, I've never experienced that. Like, you told me up. I was fighting back tears 'cause I was
Mm.
like, Lord nephew, say something. Say something. Tell us you okay. Like, I just want to give you your kudos. Like, I don't know how you do it, but
Thank
you do that very, very, very well.
thank you, thank you for saying that. Yeah, no, it's fun. I like I said, I'm just a stenographer. I take notes. They tell me what's going on. You know, spring's coming, y'all. That's all I can say about
Okay,
that.
that was my next one. So, what do we have to look forward to next? Are you working on anything? Anything we could be on the lookout for?
Well, so next, am I comfortable announcing
I was just
anything
about to say
here?
I
I
don't
mean,
want to put you on the
I'm going to
spot.
announce
I
it.
don't want to put you on the spot,
No,
but
no. I mean, it's probably overdue. So so yes, I'm gonna watch my tongue.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to. I don't want to commit.
Hold
I'm gonna
tight,
watch it.
hold
But
tight,
I'm gonna say
friend.
this.
Okay.
I will say this.
She said yes. You're
Spring
very
will be the next
comfortable.
book.
Okay, so spring is the
A very,
next book.
spring will be the next book. So I've been working. So I will say this: spring is the next book. You've met these characters before.
Oh, that's what I was
Um,
gonna ask. Okay.
yeah. I will give you.
So spring is about Stone.
Actually, no, no.
Oh,
Spring is actually about Preston Cole.
it didn't hurt to know.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you that. Spring is about Preston Cole. You finally get to hear, you know, but you also know the female lead. So yeah, I know it's a whole
Okay.
thing.
Okay. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm
I
mind my...
won't say that
Now I
much.
feel like we all can agree that Preston Cole was unlikable. Unlikable is the correct word for Preston's ass. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You get to go down that journey.
And I said, and I was not expecting that because I started to mention him when I asked you to give us a name, a word for the characters, but I was like, I don't want to. I ain't worried about Preston, but okay, we gonna be open and
Yeah.
receptive to Preston. We gonna give him a
Yeah, Preston
chance.
Cole is the Preston. You gotta give Preston a chance. We going there's a story there,
Okay.
and what's cool about it is
Mm, mm,
I'm gonna shut up.
mm, 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 mm.
Hmm
Okay. Okay.
hmm
Um, if you could cast a movie, Autumn is
hmm
being made into a movie, and you get to pick the cast. Who would you pick for characters? It you don't have to just whoever comes to mind. You don't have to try to do all of them.
Okay, no, it's cool. I know for a fact I'd probably cast if, like, again, budget was standing right. Like I got the
Yeah,
check,
we got
green
it.
light
We
check.
got it.
Um, I want I want I want either what's the young man that plays Franklin Saint on Snowfall? What's his name?
Oh, Damson Idris.
Him or Michael B. Jordan for Tatum. One of them two. They gonna be Tatum or one of
Okay.
them. And then I want Denzel to be Johnny.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that yeah, I think that
Oh, he would make a
I'm gonna
good
say
JC
he
Money.
would make a good JC money, right?
Oh,
He
he
would.
would.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, not Michael. Yeah, Damon
Yeah,
definitely. I
I
think
say
Damon would be a
Damson
good
Idris
Tatum.
too. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Michael B.
yeah. I
Jordan,
think
but
him.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think of. But that was the first. That's the person that comes to mind first. I just couldn't think.
Yeah, I think he would be good
I
for
think that.
Tatum.
I think that. I think that. See, I'm old. I don't be knowing these people's names.
That's
The
okay. We'll help
girl,
you.
Smollett, Joe,
Oh, Journey Smollett.
there you go. I think she
Okay,
can
for
be a good
Autumn.
autumn. I do
Oh,
see
she would
her
be
as a.
good. I could see her losing her mind in the parking lot, having a meltdown.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can see her doing that. Um, Now Savannah's interesting because I'm going to be forced to tell you it's Angela Bassett. I don't think so, but I'm going to be forced to tell you that would be the only. It just yeah. I'm gonna. It's gonna have to be. I won't have a choice there.
Okay.
Um,
Cause I envisioned somebody else for her.
Tell me who you think. Like who you think? I'm curious.
In the when they was talking in the kitchen and she was talking to him about his happiness, I was imagining Pauletta Washington, Denzel Washington's wife. She plays I can't think of the character name, but the mom on Reasonable Doubt. I don't know if you've ever watched that. But she plays
Hmm
Jackson's mom on Reasonable Doubt. And for whatever reason, I just
What?
imagined her in the kitchen whipping it up and
Well,
getting
look at
herself
this.
together.
Well, since you say that, let's go. Let's have a do over. I think this would be fun to put all the Washingtons. I think John David
Oh
could be Tatum.
yes.
This would be a fun family movie for these
It
people. I think we could throw
would.
the Washington family in the movie. Yeah, so those
Okay,
those three could
Loretta
all
Devine is
have
a good
roles.
one too for that talking the kitchen.
She's a good
Yeah.
one. Um,
And
yeah,
Stone.
yeah.
What about my dog Stone?
Damn, that's a good one. That's I don't know,
It's
man.
a
Stone
Stone
got to have a
fan
little
club.
edge. He gotta he gotta have a little edge. He gotta have a little. I don't know. I have to think about Stone. I don't know who because somebody got to pull him off. You know,
I imagine, but I think I only imagine this person because it's in Houston. I had
Method
imagined
Man,
Slim Thug as Stone.
Slim Thugger could be. He's too tall. He's so tall,
I
and then
know
he gonna.
he is. It would be but just
He's too
when I
tall.
think of like just
Yeah,
how
but I
he
do.
was
Yeah,
talking shit
but
and stuff, just I
mhm.
was like, yeah, I could see
Yeah,
it.
definitely Houston. He was a Houston cat for sure. Yeah,
Oh, Method Man would
that's a
be a
good
good
question.
Stone.
I do like meth. I do like meth. I like meth, like that, and that's the vein of what it would have to be. So I don't know. That would be, yeah. I can see the whole Washington family. Now that you said, I can see them all playing. It would be good to
Yeah.
see them bouncing off of each other in this because I think the son and the dad they already have a relationship.
Yeah.
I'd love to see those two in the movie acting, you know,
Hmm.
off each other. That'd be great.
But yeah,
Um,
Denzel would be amazing as JC Money. You ate that up.
yeah, we would get JC money for sure. I think. Yeah, we got it from your lips to God's ears. We can get that happening. That'd be great.
So I'll
Um,
be done.
yeah. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Uh, yeah, no, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Method Man because it's easy. Yeah, let's
Okay.
go there. Yeah,
Not because it's
I'll say that.
easy.
So I can't think of somebody. No, because I can't think of one person. You mean? So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it have to. I have to think about that one.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Um. Okay. I got two more, and then I'm gonna let you go because we're gonna hit right at an hour. Now you have a soundtrack for the book. If y'all don't
Mhm.
know, it's available on all streaming platforms. Go check it out. But what Houston anthems would you add to the soundtrack? Because this book is very H Town, so we gotta have just
Mhm.
a little bit of
Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Mm. I think My Block from Scarface definitely makes that.
yes.
That definitely makes that. I think that just because for nostalgia's sake, "Knocking the Boots" by H Town that would make that.
Okay.
Um, I think that you can't have a Houston soundtrack without a Beyonce or a Ghetto Boy song.
Mhm.
So those two, I can't pick what it would be. I think Me, Myself, and I by Beyonce would go on there.
Yeah.
Ghetto Boys, I tried. I think that would go on there. That's a good
Okay.
one. That would go on there. So yeah, yeah. Those I think those would be the ones I'd say if I didn't make the songs, but I just had a playlist, which I did, but I didn't think about it from the Houston aspect. I said,
Mhm.
but those would be on there. And then maybe something by UGK, front, back, and side to side. That'll go.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
gotta go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll
Thank
go.
you.
That'll
Thank you.
go.
Thank you. That's
You
all.
know.
We ain't need too much. Just give
Mhm.
us one. Let
Yeah,
Port Arthur
yeah,
have a little
yeah.
shine in there too. Okay.
Yeah, we got a 64 Chevy
Okay.
Camaro.
Port Arthur
Sorry.
is in the building. Okay. So I feel like it was a lot you could take away from the book. To you,
Mhm.
when someone reads Autumn, what do you hope that they got from the book? What is something you hope that they left with?
I think that each one of these books, each one of them, I think that the main thing that I'm trying to get everyone to take away is um, the duality of love. So it's like you have, there are elements of love that explored in autumn, in winter, in spring, and what will be summer. And you get to see like what it looks like. For Tatum, you know, he was, the love of his son, the love of his life, the love of his family. These are all choices, the love of his friendship. These are all choices that he had to kind of navigate. It's never as clear as, you know, um, I love you, we together, that's it. Let's go hold hands and make some babies, the end.
Yeah.
It's never that clear. So you get to see what it really looks like. I think there's something at the beginning of the book that says something and I wrote it, so I can't. So forgive me. I'm gonna mess it up.
It's okay.
But it was something like I said something to the effect like in order to understand love, you got to understand the weather, and then once you realize that's impossible, then you really understand love. Like I think that's it. To me, that's it. That's what you're gonna understand, and that's what I want you to take away from that book. And I think really that whatever when I put those notes at the beginning, that to me is what encapsulates the story.
Hmm.
So that's what I would want you to take away from that one, for sure.
Okay. I also want to add as the reader, One other thing I
Mhm.
really enjoyed about this book, and I think it ties into how we spoke about earlier, like you see things through your lens, through your experiences in life, your whatever. One thing I loved in the book, and this is based on my own experience, was seeing how Tatum tried to embrace and nurture his son's relationship with his grandfather despite his own relationship with a less than perfect parent. And
Mhm.
even having to juggle the opinion of the other parent who is like, well, I don't understand. Because then it is this, again, it ties into doing what's best for your child's happiness. Me and you may not have fared well in our dynamic, but I still want for my child to have XYZ. I still want my child to have the love of a grandparent. My child's grandparent is here, so I want him to have as much love as he can have despite how I may feel and what I may still be working through. I feel like you you executed it very well. It was very real to me. And I was like, yeah, I love Tatum for that because I get it. It's very real.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. You know, and it's hard when you're at that coming of age place in your life where you know you, there's this, especially for a good kid, there's this inherent dogma that carry with you where you hear your parents' voice on what you're deciding for your life as you start to take the training wheels off of adulthood.
Hmm.
But then you start to realize that it's your life and your decisions are going to be what shapes it.
Yeah.
I I'm laughing at
Oh,
the comment.
thank y'all. I appreciate
No,
it. Nice stone beat, girl. You
like
love
that.
me.
But yeah, no, but so I think that for him, you know, man, if anybody grew up in that book, it was Taylor because he went through it. He went through the ringer, man. That guy
Yeah.
went. He took lump after lump after lump, and then, like you said, even going back to Dr. Peterson thing, like I know that hurt. You know, that hurt on both sides. You know what I mean? And it was just like, that's part of life.
Yeah.
You know, good, bad, and the ugly. You know, and so seeing that in him, I think that was really good to see because he took every hit and somehow he was still standing. I
Yeah.
mean,
He
wow.
kept pushing through and I couldn't do it. And I think the Dr. Peterson thing hit different too because he referenced like after conversations with Dr. Peterson, he would reference like we went from professor student to mentor to father son. So he's like he keeps acknowledging like how their relationship has really grown over time. And
Mhm.
especially when you already have or didn't really have a relationship with your biological father, and then something you did cost you your relationship with someone you looked at as a father. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
it just ate me up for him.
Morgan Freeman for that guy. I will say that one
Oh,
it'd be Morgan. He'd be a good one. For
yeah,
Dr. Peterson, I love him. Yeah.
that was a good
You
one.
know.
That was a good one.
um,
Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you letting me pick your brain and ask all my questions. I loved Autumn. I
Thank you
loved
for
Winter.
having me.
Like, whatever you drop, I will be there. I'll be ready for the next release. Like whatever I can do to support, I will because like you do your big one in them books, okay?
Mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about this next one. I think that I think that yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna and we're here. I think that we're. I just yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I need you to do like a book signing or something at Book Readers Venue so I can meet both of y'all. Okay? And I ain't even gotta do too much. Just let me be in the building. That's all I need. I can sit in the background and be quiet. Okay? I'm just trying to be in the
Well,
building and get
look.
my book.
Well, I will tell you this. Like now, please don't. This is. I'm gonna tell you just because we're here.
Okay. I
Although
ain't gonna
I
tell
hope
nobody.
that No, because we're here, and so like, and maybe I shouldn't be inviting you to people's places, but I'm gonna do it anyway. She is actually having book club for winter month, and so and like, if you've never been to the book readers venue and you've never seen her do an event live, like for
Mhm.
a book club, this is something that, to me, also a hidden gem in this city, because
Yeah.
like when she goes in, she goes all the way out, and like she did autumn. And I'll tell you, I was blown away by how she put everything together. I mean, everything. She had the wine from the book. She had, I mean, yeah, it was a lot. It was like she had the alchemist. She had, I mean, she everything you
Oh.
name it. She does her big one. So
Yeah.
definitely, I'd say, like, if I don't know how, I don't want to. I just kind of threw you in there, but if you want to go and have a good time, especially
Yeah.
with winter,
Mhm.
like, yeah, next month, that's it. And I know she's
Okay.
gonna do something really special. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, she's
Okay.
gonna do something next month,
Now, don't
and
forget, I
be
have
there.
named myself an unofficial member of your street team. So when it's time for summer to drop, I'm on the job.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
ready. Look.
just
I
know.
I, I done took my notes. Look. You there? You on it? Look. Look. Come. I'm gonna be talking to you real soon.
Okay,
Real soon. Real
you know
soon.
where to
You know,
find
as
me. I
soon as he
got
gets
you.
out, like,
I
yep.
got you. Just I'm
Uh-huh.
just shooting
Yeah.
my
We
shot.
gonna
Just
we
say the
gonna have fun
word.
next month.
Say the word, and I'm on
Mm-hmm.
the job.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Absolutely. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
thank you. Thank y'all for sitting with us and chatting with us. I hope y'all enjoyed the book. I will definitely do a reread of Winter if I hear there's an event going on at a H Town bookstore, black
It,
bookstore. Okay.
it's definitely, I like the only. I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, I need to quit doing that. But
Now
yeah,
I gotta
definitely you
monitor
want to
what
be
you
there.
say. Come on now. Calm
No, it's
down.
just bad about it. Yeah, you're right. But no, yeah, you want to be there. I think
Yeah.
I want to be there. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
It's gonna be great.
And
She does an amazing job.
whenever you do have the green light to announce something, we can hop on live and throw it out there anytime. You're always welcome to come back.
Thank you for having me. I think that, like, it's been fun to connect. Because
Yeah.
I love this energy, and I love that, like, you come into the world where, no, you came at the right time.
Yeah,
Because,
cause
like,
I'm
it's
still
just,
new to the
yeah, it's great.
bookish community. Like I'm
Hmm.
still newbie. I'm still finding my footing. But I used to be a podcaster, and so I've always done interviews. It was just like what we did. And so once I started getting into books, and I've really found like black indie authors that I love, and I feel like people need to know. I was like, okay, well, I'll pick a book every month. I'll see if the author will go live with me, and we can talk about it. So this was only my
Hmm.
second one. I feel like I'm finding my groove. I'm getting a little, you know. So I enjoy it, and I
Hmm.
appreciate you sitting with me and giving me a chance to pick your brain. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll be back
Yeah.
for summer.
Yeah, we'll be back sooner than that. We'll be back for spring. We'll
Okay, okay,
definitely be
okay.
back for spring.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll be
All
back.
right, y'all. Thank y'all for kicking it with us. Thank you again to the amazing plot twist king Norian Love. Thank you for my t-shirt, my queen shirt. Y'all have a good one. I will announce the December book selection very soon. It's gonna be a brand new release. So all
Mm,
right, y'all. Y'all have a good
mm.
one. Happy Thanksgiving. Y'all take care.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Y'all have a good day. Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Thank you for being here.